with that being said, we're not day traders at all. Like, we don't trade the minute chart. Again, we're looking for trades based on the month to 3-month time frame. Okay, that's rule number one. We use a weekly chart. We only buy assets that are trending above the 50-week EMA. So I talk about this every single video. This is the most important technical indicator to me. If I erased every single other indicator that I have on my chart, okay, I would just use the 50 EMA. That is the light blue line. Okay, the reason I like this so much is because it is the yearly average. Okay, think about it. I'm on a weekly chart, meaning each one of these bars is 1 week's worth of price action. Okay, 1 week's worth of price action. So this blue line is the average of the 50, of the last 50. So that's about a year, right? 52 weeks in a year. So think of it as the yearly moving average. Okay, we want to buy assets when they are above it. Okay, and obviously giving us our green dots on our indicator down here, green and red dots are our divergence. We'll get into that here in just a second. But again, where we want to buy is the breakout of, right? This is the perfect breakout of, okay, and then the pullback into it. This is our entry right here, right down in here. So if you look over here also, we have a cheat sheet right underneath the rules. These are free resources available inside of our Discord. We got a link down in the description and in the comment section as well. But this, what I just showed you, the break over the 50 and the pull back into it, that's where we want to buy, right? We want to buy the takeoff, okay? This is the takeoff, meaning, okay, we're going from a downtrend, right? Downtrend, 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 downtrend. This was like a 2.5-year downtrend, okay, all the way down to 29 cents. And then what happened? Okay, ripped up over it, came back into it, okay? That is the change of the trend. That is the switch. Okay, so this happens, I mean, after bear markets normally last a year, year and a half, sometimes 2 years, okay, on average. Okay, on average, that's how long a bear market lasts. If you look at the history of the stock market, okay, that's about how long it takes. Okay, and this was a long downtrend, right? We weren't buying during this time because we were in a downtrend. Why would we be buying something that's in a downtrend? We want to trade with the trend. And how we know that the trend is in our favor as buyers is we are above it. So again, this was a perfect setup on Mara right here. Boom, it popped up, it pulled back. There's our doji candle. There's our green dot. Okay, our green dots are our entries. Okay, so that's down here, number 3 and number 4. So think of these as like a stop and go, right? Stop and go. Okay, green means up, red means down. Ideally, we like to enter the week of the green dot or before. Okay, the week before or the week of. Once you start getting good at this, you can predict the week before. Like, I know that this is a reversal candle right here. Okay, I can identify this pattern of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks down, boom. And then there was the reversal, right? The green doji candle. This is when buyers step in and take control. Okay, and then 3 weeks later, the green dot printed. This thing went from $1, about $2, let's call it $1.80, all the way up to that's $60. I mean, folks, that's a ridiculous gain there. Okay, 2,400% move. 2,400%, meaning if you put in $1,000 right here, you're going to make $24,000 back to the top. So you start with 1,000, you now have 25,000. You only have to do that like 5 times and you have $1 million. Okay, so the whole point is finding the strategy. This setup happens all the time, folks. I point one of these out every single day or every single video I drop. This is what I start with. Okay, because they are everywhere. This pattern repeats itself over and over and over again. You want to identify when the trend shifts. Okay, the trend shifts when we break out, right? That takeoff phase that I was talking about. Boom, takeoff. You got to identify it. You know what this is right here? This is the mean. This is the average. Remember I was talking about the yearly average price? That is the mean, okay? We want the breakout above the mean and the pull back into it. And we just got this whole entire round. I mean, folks, if you guys are on the channel, we absolutely nailed this move. I mean, I'm cashing out trades for like 70 to 300% right now. You know, glory to God. But, I mean, we nailed this trade, folks. We nailed this move up, okay? Look at Dodge breaking out. This one's starting to trend a little bit on. You guys are starting to see that media attention now. You guys are starting to see Twitter heat up a little bit on Dodge. Okay, what's happening? Media attention, enthusiasm. I'd really like to get your guys' opinions on where you think we're at in the cycle, okay, in crypto right now. Where do you think we are in terms of a weekly chart, okay, in terms of the next year's worth of price action? okay, in terms of a weekly chart. I personally believe we're in enthusiasm and media attention. I think we're just starting to ramp up here. So again, we don't want to wait for this necessarily, okay? Because I mean, when things just go parabolic, you just never know when it's going to drop. But I want to sell when it makes sense. When it makes sense to sell is when the blue stochastic hits that white dotted line on the indicator. Okay, boom. That was right here at 8 cents. This thing popped up to 10. Okay, you missed about 30%. Okay, big whoop. 30% isn't a big deal. Okay, you could have cashed out here and found another trade, right? So when that's our sell target. Okay, and that's going back to the rules because you have to have a plan to sell. And number 5 is don't be greedy. So number 5 means, okay, who cares if this runs another 20, 30%? We already made the meat of the trade, right? Buying the green dot, we're already up, 45%. So, I mean, we're being greedy for another 30 when we could just cash out and roll it into something else, right? Convert it into another name that's setting up, okay? Like it's set up right here. Boom, it had the pullback. It went up to 10. Guess what? Pulled back to 7. Dogecoin ripping. Wow, that thing hit 15 cents. Okay, again, we're buying right in this area. I mean, I posted when and where we bought this thing. That's an 87% move. It's up 87% off its last dot there. Okay, 87% move here on Dogecoin. And I mean, that's the first bar here. Look at that volume coming in. So again, we'll look to sell Dogecoin when the stochastic hits the dotted line. That's where we're going to take profits, folks. So when people are asking, are we taking profits? No, we're not taking profits, okay? We're waiting until that hits 100. That's where we want to sell. This is where we want to cash out. Okay, and then again, it doesn't matter if it runs another 20, 30%. I don't care about that additional, right? You don't want to try to time the exact top. You do not want to try to time the exact top, ever. Okay, it says right here, don't wait for this, okay? Take your profits, folks, and then do it again. Rinse and repeat, right? Rinse and repeat. We're not trying to hit home runs, grand slams on every trade. Okay, if you try to do that every time, you're going to lose. But if you can have a consistent strategy where you're making 20, 30, 40, 50. I mean, we've cashed in. I just cashed in comp the other day. I dropped it in the Discord. Okay, I put all my trades right over here. Okay, I converted all that comp I made 70% into XLM. Why did I convert it into XLM? Okay, I'll show you. Okay, I wanted to sell comp because comp was already up here. Let me show you comp real quick. Okay. So comp's already up at the ceiling, right? This is going to move here on Sunday. We're going to be probably up at 95. We're going to be right in this area, is my guess. So I seen that, right? And then I seen XLMs, and XLMs isn't even above the first oversold line. So we have room to run on this, in my opinion. Do you guys understand what I'm saying here? Like comp next week is going to probably be at 93, 94 on the stochastic. Okay, which means it's close to the top. I'm not maybe trying to sell exactly at 100, but if I can sell it at 95 or 96, that's right in the range. Again, I'm not trying to time the top. Okay, because if I do that, we're gonna get crushed. Okay, we're gonna get crushed. You never want to try to time the top, folks. I guarantee you, taking profits when it makes sense is the best thing that you can do as a trader. Okay, but this thing has room to run, a lot more room to run than comp. Okay, so that's why I took that trade there. So that's our sell strategy there on the rules. We're trading off the stochastic, and we're always using a stop loss. Okay, our stop loss is always determined by the green dot. When we get the green dot, we can then move up our stop loss, which is always going to be the yellow line on my charts, to the bottom of the green dot, right? The bottom of the green dot, and then looking to cash out once it gets up there to 100 or near 100. Okay, so that's the strategy, folks. I want you guys to understand that. First and foremost, that's why I covered at the beginning of every single video, because as I'm going through your charts, I want you to keep all these things in mind. And it's really not a lot. It's just 6 simple rules. Okay, the first 2 are easy. Okay, to me, these are very easy rules to follow if you're looking at it weekly. And there's no stress to it because, again, we're not trying to make our money in seconds or minutes like most of these people trying to day trade the minute chart. They're trying to make too many decisions. The less you trade, the better, in my opinion. And if you can rack up 100% trades consistently, I mean, folks, there's nothing going to stop you from creating generational wealth for you and your family. You just got to be smart, and you got to use the rules, all of them, all the boxes got to be checked, and that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for, folks. We're here to do this as a community, and I mean, you guys hold me accountable. Hopefully, I do the same for you.